Shocking vid of second shooter just accidentally leaked and exposes massive media cover-up. Ever since the brutal massacre took place in Las Vegas on Sunday night after a deranged psychopath opened fire on concert-goers, it's been extremely difficult to get a straight story from the media. Many experts are crying foul over the media's narrative that there was only one shooter, including the Las Vegas sheriff who says it was impossible and a former Navy SEAL who said in a recent interview that the official story does not add up. Now a groundbreaking video from an eyewitness has just leaked, leaving many astonished as to why the mainstream media is so incessant with pushing their whopper about a single shooter carrying out the massacre that night. In addition to the Las Vegas sheriff scoffing at the idea of there being only one shooter, the man who was staying in the room right next door, Brian Hodge, an Australian, said he witnessed more than one shooter. There were multiple people dead and multiple shooters. I was just hiding waiting for police to come get us. We were hiding in the bushes outside waiting for the police. Now Hodge's eyewitness account cannot be disputed any longer after the video that just leaked, much to the demise of the mainstream media who keeps pushing their biased agenda. Wendy Miller was also caught up in the attack that night and reported to authorities that she and her husband were at a bar at a nearby hotel when they saw what they described as a person of interest rush past them. "We managed to make our way back to our room," she told the Courier Mail. "We are in lockdown. Our door is deadlocked and a chair against the door." Miss Miller said the man sprinted through her hotel after coming off an escalator from the Mandalay Bay. The man that they, security, were chasing was wearing a security jacket like them, she said. Now a video has surfaced showing exactly what Miller and her husband witnessed that night, proving there was in fact more than one shooter carrying out the massacre. New video has surfaced purportedly showing a man in a yellow security vest within the crowd with what appears to be a firearm, and he takes a shooting position as the crowd flees from his area in a panic. The man is seen running up toward the crowd, then crouching down, before a flash is emitted in front of him and people flee for their lives, America's freedom fighters reported. This is extremely chilling. But perhaps more troubling is that the mainstream media keeps pushing the narrative of there only being one shooter even though mounting evidence is proving otherwise. Here's what the former Navy SEAL, only identified as Mike, had to say about the narrative of there only being one shooter, via Gateway Pundit. "With this presser, I am finally getting a straight answer as to how long this guy was shooting. Shooting time, 10 minutes. Casualties, 600 plus. Casualty rate, 60/minute. This means he had to be hitting one person every second for the entire 10 minutes. With changing mags onto our platform, in semi-auto, 30-round mags, a trained operator might get, 240 rounds off per minute. In reality, closer to about 160 to 180 per minute. And of note, you do this to a civilian version of an R, it will fail. Metal fatigue. So there should be at least 600 expended rounds that were accurately placed. Add in all of the spray on the stage and surrounding structures, and the round count goes way up. That is going to be one hell of a pile of brass. And a fire hazard on any cloth. That is one of the reasons you want to be on the left side of the range, and turn your collar up. Hot brass down your shirt burns like hell. It is also funny when it isn't you. The numbers on this tragedy do not add up. Police scanners that night revealed that authorities knew immediately it was more than one shooter, and the eyewitness account of the man staying next door to Stephen Paddock is oddly being ignored by the mainstream media. As we exposed on Wednesday. When frantic calls began to pour into 911 that night with news of an active shooting taking place at the concert near the hotel, initial eyewitnesses claimed that there were multiple shooters firing down upon the crowd. But for some reason, the mainstream media keeps pushing the narrative that there was only one shooter involved, even though mounting evidence is starting to indicate otherwise. Australian man Brian Hodge was staying in the room next to Paddock that fateful night, and what he witnessed is destroying the mainstream media's narrative that the massacre involved only one shooter. After hearing gunfire coming from his floor, Hodge rushed outside and hid in the bushes and called for help. Hodge then said something shocking, certain that this massacre was not carried out by Stephen Paddock alone. There were multiple people dead and multiple shooters. I was just hiding waiting for police to come get us. We were hiding in the bushes outside waiting for the police. Adding, it was a machine gun from the room next to me. My floor is a crime scene. They killed a security guard on my floor. Hodge isn't the only person who believes there was more than one shooter that carried out the massacre. Many people are feeling uneasy about the official story that's being pushed and are starting to suspect there's something extremely fishy with the narrative the mainstream media is telling everyone. Even Republican Congressman Thregoody is scoffing at the narrative that this was carried out by a lone shooter. Looks like there's much more to the story than the crooked media is letting on. Why would they continue to push the narrative of there being only one shooter? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching this video. What do you think about this? Share this on Facebook and Twitter along with your comments.